You're watching Weekend at Gabe's and I'm Weekend Gabe. This latest episode was brought to you by the good folks over at the Ghetto Flower. Use our code W at G for an exclusive 15% discount when visiting their site. Tell them I sent you. Now enjoy the show. Yo, we're back at it here on Weekend at Gabe's on this Tuesday, June 28th, 2022. You hear the sounds, you hear the vibes. It's almost like Darth Vader stalking Obi-Wan and dragging him through the coals of hell. We are back at it here on Weekend at Gabe's on Twitch TV, brought to you by the Ghetto Flower. I'm hoping that everyone is enjoying their pre-4th of July festivities before things get really real this weekend. We got a great show lined up. We're going to be talking with Chicago native Brooklyn Sky, who is on tour with No Name and is also going to be hitting the road later on this fall with EC Omama. So, EC Oma, excuse me. Got it. She's going to be joining us in about 10 minutes and just a few moments. So stick around for that. It's going down. And also, we got a brand new segment of Gabe on the streets, hitting the baseball or the softball field and talking with some of Chicago's biggest media names. So a lot going on. Let's bring in from... Wait, hang on. We've been gone a while. Don't forget to follow us on these socials at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, the real Sam Crane, and the Ghetto Flower, joining us from an undisclosed location on the north side somewhere in his new pad, the real Sam Crane. How are you, sir?
Wow, isn't it amazing to get a goddamn intro for once? You know, like I was really starved. It was like 2 weeks. Sam got no intro. He was just thrown into the fires, much like Obi-Wan was thrown into the fire.
He's dragged through the fire.
I'm glad that you are up to date with the Kenobi spoilers, and I apologize if I spoiled anything for our esteemed guests. But it's a big week, man, and we're back with a brand new segment. I just came back from New York, and Gabe, I have a trivia question for you.
Let's go.
If you can name this fruit, I will do the next Weekend at Gabe's new segment. I'm creating
gonna take a wild guess. I know it's wrong. Acorn.
It is not an acorn, Weekend Gabe. It is a lychee. Yes. You can find these lychees somewhere in China. Some good friends of mine in New York got me a whole bag of these. So I'm thinking to myself, what the hell do I do with all these lychees? So my question to the viewers right now is, if you have good lychee recipes, please send them through, because I have a shit ton of lychees and no idea what to do.
I was about to say, what are you going to do with those? You have a lot of them. Do you cook them? Do you just chew on them when I was in
New York, we had a lychee martini, which started this whole thing. Delicious, by the way. You wouldn't know there was any alcohol in that thing. That's a dangerous drink. But I don't know how to make martinis by myself. So if somebody's got that recipe, that's cool. I hear you can make them with savory dishes as well. I don't know. It's a brand new frontier for me, Weekend Gabe, as it should be when you come back from vacation. But I'm glad to be back, and I'm really excited for the show tonight, because Brooklyn Sky, have been working. We're trying to get her on the show, and we finally got it. So it's a big night.
Listen, the new single is phenomenal. I can't wait to get into that with her. And then also some of the tour life that she's been enduring.
Yeah, man. I mean, the biggest names around, you got Dreamer Isioma, you got No Name, and, a million more to come, because it is not going to be over after this interview. There's going to be much more to come from Brooklyn Sky. But we're going to get into all of that. But for right now, Weekend Gabe, we need to get into our next segment, brought to you by the Ghetto Flower. And if you head over to the Ghetto Flower's website, you can get 15% off of your next purchase of $50 or more if you use our code. That is W @G. You can use that code and get that 15% off, and we'll get that merch to you as soon as possible. But for right now, folks, there is news, and there is news that people care about, but there is news that only Gabe cares about, and that's what this segment is all about.
All right, check it out. Listen, everyone's been part of this. Online bullying. It sucks. It's not good. It doesn't feel good. Our last president and our last first wife, first lady, she tried to... Well, what was her anti-bullying? Every child, we love every child. whatever the fuck she was
Yeah, I
trying
don't
to do.
remember her whole thing. It was strange.
Yeah, or be kinder, some crazy shit, right? But
Yeah.
which was totally wild. But anyways, Chris Pratt, you know him, the star of the Jurassic Park series and a number of other things. He got a little bit of bullying this past week when someone jumped in the comment section on his Instagram and pointed out that after he had commented that he has a healthy daughter, that his 9.5-year-old son Jack was born 2 months premature and experiences a number of health issues. Someone pointed out that that hey, what about your other child that's not so healthy? That you're more thankful about your new child than your old child. So he got a little bit of butthurt about that, and said that it made him cry, and now he has to worry about his son somewhere going into the future and looking online of the digital footprint that's left by these people who leave mean comments. Sam, is this a form of bullying, or is this just someone just being shitty?
I mean, I think it's funny because it's like this is just a purely it's just a purely celebrity problem. Like if I go online and tweet this exact same thing with this exact same like children's setup, nobody says anything to me at all, bro. Like, but because he's Chris Pratt, a huge actor, people read into it probably even more than he did. Honestly, like,
Right? Yeah, exactly.
people were saying like, "Oh, it's totally a dig at his ex-wife," and like all this other stuff. He probably really wasn't thinking too hard. It was probably more so like an appreciation post for the woman he's with right now, in which he used a phrase that anyone might use, but because he's holier than thou, he must be held to holier than thou standards. But such is the internet, man. Ultimately, no, I don't feel bad for Chris Pratt. I'm sure the money is coming in just nicely. So it's smooth, bro. Just keep it moving. We really don't care that much. Some people do, but not us.
Exactly. Really quick. Do you have a online bullying experience?
Oh, you know who's weird? This guy goes by Dragonfly Jones. He's one of my favorite NBA follows on Twitter. If you're not following him, you should. He's hilarious. But this one time he tweeted something about the Kanye album Life of Pablo, and he was talking about the bleached asshole bar. And he was like, that's a bad bar. And I was like, but it's not though. And the fact that we're sitting here talking about how it's a bad bar kind of means that it's a good bar. But like, I wouldn't expect anybody to get that if they hadn't made music before. And I got hatred. Oh my God. I got the most amount of hatred for that. Somebody was like, so he replied to my tweet, which is why I got hatred.
Right.
And somebody was like, oh, bro, this is the biggest moment of your whole life. And I was like, I mean, not really. It's just a Tuesday, but like, it's
exactly,
cool, like. But I think that was as bad as it got for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Basically, don't get on the wrong side of Dragonfly Jones on Twitter.
No. I got dragged when the Cubs won the World Series, and everyone dug up my old tweets of me saying the Cubs will never win ever, and then I got like I don't know how many thousands of quote tweets, retweets. Like my phone, I had to just turn my phone off. It was just insane.
I got a whole separate Twitter just for my postings about soccer things.
Oh,
I get regularly bullied on that one by like random Nigerians. They're just like, you know nothing. You're from America. You don't know shit. So that's a wild thing. But yeah, the internet's not a safe place.
You got your burner account for FIFA. Love it.
Literally.
Got it. All right. Our next story is, of course, Drake, who dropped his last album, Honestly Nevermind, a couple weeks ago, and it debuted at number 1, scoring him his 11th number 1 album.
Man, somebody was capping about how much they hated that album if it really debuted number 1. A lot of people. In fact, a lot of people might have been capping.
Someone on the show, not named Sam, was one of those people. He trails only Jay-Z, who has 14 number 1 albums, and the Beatles, who the Beatles have 19 number 1 albums. Jay-Z has 14. So Drake could potentially get 20 if you really wanted it.
Does that mean I have 9 more to go? We've got 9 more of these to endure?
Dude, it's only like 34. I mean,
Don't make it. Just don't make it 9 more Scorpions, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, no more double albums, please. All right, so honestly, Nevermind moved 240,000 records, equating that to streams. But what we're going to show here, and the question we're going to ask is, has Drake fallen off? Let's take a look at the numbers, the stat board about
11
his
number one albums say no. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to pull down the caption.
I can't see that number. Hold on, what's that? Yeah.
All right, so Dreamer Loverboy 613. You kind of see a trend here where it's starting to look kind of flatline. Is Drake finally falling off? Did the house record not win people over enough to care about Drake moving into the future?
No. I think a record like this one is a long game record. You know what I mean? So people will come around. I mean, I don't take much stock in first week numbers anyways, because I don't know. I think it was a Questlove tweet where he was like, you guys have no capacity to judge whether something's a classic within the first 6 hours of it dropping. Like, get off the internet. Yeah. And that's how I feel. So I don't take much in the first week numbers. I mean, it definitely fell off. It's no surprise that this one was a surprise album and it did 1/3 of the other one. I mean, that seems like math is mathing to me. So I don't know. I think this one's okay. I don't think we have to fear. What the thing we do have to fear is there are 9 more of these coming for him to break the Beatles record. And good Lord, I don't know if I had 9 more in me.
I don't know if I need 9 more Drake albums for the rest of my life. I think I'd be good. But anyways, shout out to Drake, has the #1 album in the country again. All right, our last story. Listen, what happens when Pokemon and the NBA marry? Amazing or awful things are on the horizon.
Show me the
Pokemon. All right, hang on real quick. Pokemon Go creator Niantic has announced. There you go. Has an official NBA called NBA All World, where players will walk around the real world meeting basketball stars instead of pocket monsters or Pokemon. So let's go to the footage or the snapshots that we got so far of what it may look like.
What's going on here?
All right. So looks like
bro, it's just real life 2K. This sucks. I fucking hate it here. There are not enough bros on this planet Earth,
look,
bro.
You're gonna create your own avatar. Well, there's one more shot that I pulled, and then Steph going for the hoop. So it looks like you're gonna find your favorite basketball players on basketball courts and sporting goods stores across the country, among other places. And players can pick up new items and upgrade for their NBA or blacktop games or just cosmetic items. This is going to drop at the beginning of the 22-23 NBA season. Are you excited about this idea, or do you think this is going to be dead on arrival?
All right, 2 things about this. Number 1, 2K should buy this. It's a good idea for them. 2K should just be in charge of all of this. I don't know what's going on with Niantic, but it should be a 2K thing. That being said, the reason that Pokemon Go works so well is that these are not real things, which means that it's a complete fantasy world. The rumblings after Pokemon Go was so successful was that we were going to do a Harry Potter spinoff, which would have been like you were able to cast spells in AR or whatever it is, which I thought would have been cool. The issue is like, you can tell me all you want the marketing scheme of like meet your favorite NBA players at local courts. But the real shit is I'm meeting computer generated Steph. Steph is not chilling at the spot. Like if I really want to go meet my favorite NBA players, I will just spend a decent amount of time at the park on 2K. Like this is a strange way to go about it, and like not what the people wanted. The people were like, yes, Harry Potter. And you were like, no, NBA. Like, no, it's not how it works.
Imagine being a Dick's store employee and like all these kids come in with their phones who never buy shit, but just want to play Steph because that's just where he happens to be. Like, y'all got to go.
I don't know. Maybe the Dick's Sporting Goods need to go, especially that one in Nashville that's like a giant pyramid or something.
All right, well, NBA All World, we'll keep an eye and ear out for that. All right, that's our news that Gabe only cares about on this June 28th, 2022. Thank you for watching the latest episode of Weekend at Games on YouTube, brought to you by the Ghetto Flower. Make sure to also click on the links in the description for more information to our guests and access to exclusive new music from the Ghetto Flower and so much more. Make sure to also like and subscribe to the show, and also continue to share, support, and show love by clicking on any of the links surrounding my head. Thanks for watching.